As we begin to wrap up the third quarter and move towards the end of the school year, it's time to question whether or not these classes were actually worth taking. The answer usually given by adults is that this is to prepare us to get into a good college or prepare ourselves from the outside world, but this could be further from the truth. After extensively researching the topic of extraneous classes in the school system, I've come to the conclusion that not only are these classes wasting our precious time, but also killing our creativity and overall love of learning. The school system is ruining our ability to think creatively, which puts a burden on our shoulders, as the same institutions that say they are preparing us for life are actually ruining our future. I'd like to start by sketching out the problem, which is the lack of creativity. Next, I'd like to illustrate how extraneous and stagnant curriculum has caused this problem. And finally, I'd like to paint the solution to the problem by limiting the amount of unnecessary classes that teachers are required to teach. I would first like to sketch the importance of creativity and explain how the school system has been erasing this skill. Creativity can be defined as the use of imagination or original ideas, and a study published in 2018 described creativity as an essential 21st century skill. Creativity can't be measured by tests, but it can be grown over time through repeated exposure to new ideas and making connections between them. As a child, we start with a fresh view of the world, which is open and full of possibilities. School, however, forces us to think in terms of black and white, good and bad GPA. According to a 1968 study about children's creativity, about 98% of children age 5 had high levels of creativity, while only 12% of these same kids had similar levels of creativity at age 15. This is a problem because employers aren't looking for how many honors courses you took in high school, but rather how creatively you can find solutions. I will further elaborate this on a later point. Not only is the school system failing to prepare us for the employment market of today, but it's actively sabotaging our chances by erasing this essential skill. Now I'll talk about the cause of this lack of creativity. Schools have vastly changed from their creation, moving from blackboards to Chromebooks, from private to public. But what hasn't changed much is what we teach. According to the U.S. Department of Education, in an article titled Progress in Our Schools, they define progress as having better assessments and higher standards. But what the article failed to mention was the curriculum changes that have adapted the school system to our modern society, if there were any. While math and science are important in this rapidly changing world, it's necessary to continuously use our creative minds. Creativity plays a larger role in our chances to get employment at jobs such as Google or Facebook, who largely don't look at GPAs or college degrees while looking for new employees, rather than their levels of innovation and new ideas. To solve this lack of creativity, I propose a simple solution. School is viewed as preparing students for the outside world, but at the current moment is doing the exact opposite by removing the creativity we once had. According to an article published in the Education Resource Information Center about creativity in adults, creative adults usually had a large accumulation of knowledge, some sense of purpose, and a love for their work. In order to allow times for schools to teach creativity, we can remove highly specialized classes such as calculus, AP Chem, or AP Physics, which a majority of students won't find use for outside of the school system. Instead, we can replace these classes with an hour where they're able to express themselves and do what drives them, such as create a charity for homelessness or advance in their hobbies. All of this sounds amazing, but how can we make it happen? On an individual level, we can petition the California Governor, Gavin Newsom, to change the school curriculum to provide space for these creative classes. On a district-wide level, we can encourage the district to provide more educational time towards developing creativity. And on a national level, we can petition the leaders in education to allow more flexibility in the school schedule to allow an hour of creativity each day. In conclusion, schools are failing to prepare their students for the real world. This is caused by a focus on the black and white, without allowing them to explore the depths of creativity. Together, we can fix the school system to prepare us for a future filled with new ideas and exploration. Can you create the next solution to help others think outside the box? Thank you.